This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 5th day of December in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. President David Granger laid into opposition leader Jagdeo today about his claim that he will investigate the crime sprees that led to hundreds of deaths during his presidency. Appearing on the 94.1 FM program Hot Seat, the president said Jagdeo cannot be believed with his sudden interest to investigate crime and killings that took place under his watch. The president told host Stan Guyana that Mr. Jagdeo did not even bother to investigate the assassination of one of his own cabinet ministers.
Even in the case of Jagdeo, who was a minister of Mr. Jagdeo's government, it can show you the untruthfulness of this person. He has in his cabinet somebody sitting down next to him who is assassinated, and he does not even hold a coroner's inquest, much less a commission of inquiry. A cabinet colleague, his family came to me. Mr. Jagdeo's family came to me. The family sued the government, the PPP administration.
The president has come under criticism for not convening a commission of inquiry looking at the deaths that occurred during the crime spree under the Jagdeo administration. He explained that many of the persons who would have served as witnesses were killed during the troubled period, and others may be hesitant about coming forward.
A certain commissioner of police, when asked about a criminal investigation into one of those massacres, said, and I don't want to quote him verbatim, that all of the witnesses were killed. So part of the troubles that we saw between 2010 and 2000 and 2010 involved the methodical removal of witnesses to those crimes. And the result is that it is very difficult to get evidence. So you can't convene a commission of inquiry and nobody's willing to come forward with evidence. I did make an attempt in Lindo Creek and the evidence was insubstantial.
The Stabroek newspaper recently produced a special supplement on the troubled period, detailing the killings that took place, including those of lawmen, criminals, and gang members, along with ordinary citizens. Over 400 persons were killed during the crime spree.
There are about 10 massacres that took place under Mr. Jagdeo. He didn't investigate a single one. Why would you believe him now? When he was in power and had the power to do it, he didn't do it. Now he's out of power. How is he going to do it? He's not going to be president again for eternity. So what is he talking about?
President Granger said once there is evidence, his government will continue its efforts to investigate the killings that occurred under the PPP. He said his government has been able to bring such instances to an end because of actions that it has taken in the area of security. The crime spree under the Jagdeo presidency saw the blossoming of a phantom death squad that was used to eliminate suspected criminals. But then many members of the same death squad were suspected to be hired killers, who also executed other persons at a cost. Many of those cases remain unsolved. More news coming up in just a moment.
At the most critical life-changing moments, the National Insurance Scheme is here to ensure that your needs are covered. Access reimbursement for medical expenses for various aspects of your medical care. We know that eye care is of utmost importance. Receive assistance with our Spectacle Care voucher. Visiting the dentist? Dental care is also covered under our sickness benefit services. Offset the funeral expenses of a loved one with costs covered by our funeral benefits. National Insurance Scheme. We're there every step of the way.
Enter the GBTI Quick Cash Christmas promotion and make it a Christmas to remember. You get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. Plus, enter for a chance to win fabulous items for your home. One complete 7-foot granite top base kitchen cabinet, one sectional suite, one 5-piece dinette set, and complimentary baskets of goodies. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong, be the one to live right.
It's bigger, it's better, it's back! It's GTT's plus size Christmas promotion. Connect with your friends and loved ones with GTT services to benefit from our biggest ever Christmas bundle of specials and be one of our plus size winners. Visit our website or call 227-9444 for more information today.
Big bundles for you. Big bundles for you. Top up a grand, we make a winner out of you. We got a game show for you. Game show for you.
Welcome back. Turning now to the sugar industry. With the decline of the sugar industry over the years, opposition leader Jagdeo still believes that the fortunes of the industry could be turned around. At his weekly solo press conference today, Mr. Jagdeo chastised the current government for its handling of the industry over the past 4 years. He said the coalition government failed to realize that the sugar industry in Guyana is still viable, even if from an economic but not financial perspective.
This is not a financial feasibility study. This is about people's lives, the contribution to the economy. And if he understood that concept, he'd understand why sugar is still viable from an economic perspective and not necessarily from a financial perspective, because of the multiple benefits that are associated with sugar.
Mr. Jagdeo said the benefits would have been derived from linkages, taxes, contributions to the NIS, and drainage and irrigation services, among others, from the sugar company.
Had they done the economic feasibility study that we had asked for, you would have seen that the cost of closure is greater than keeping sugar going, even with the transitional subsidy.
There have been calls for the PPP to explain how exactly it could save the sugar industry now when the decline started under its time in office. Recently, businessman and presidential candidate for the Change Guyana Party, Robert Badal, said the PPP is trying to win votes with false promises and by talking foolishness about reopening closed estates. Mr. Jagdeo responded to that today.
So we can't spend a few $1 million in subsidy, transitional subsidy to the sugar workers to get 11,000 people back working and feeding their families. But we can spend billions on ministerial outreach and on dietary and rental and per diem for ministers and higher salaries. But you can't spend it on the 11,000 workers. That's where the priority is.
The presidential candidate for the PPP Air Finale has pledged to reopen the estates once he wins government. He has made it an issue as part of his campaign. Still in the world of politics, the Change Guyana Party today picked up support from national rugby player Ryan Day, a resident of Linden who works in the forestry sector. In addressing the press at the party's weekly press conference, Day said he feels as a youth, a sportsman, and a Lindener that both the previous and current governments have failed him and his town.
Looking at Linden, I think to myself, what has happened to our beautiful town? With all the promises made by both political parties, and they never delivered. It is time to change. It is time I choose to change. It is time for Change Guyana.
Day said he feels the Change Guyana Party has the experience needed that could see a turnaround in Linden.
Have you ever asked yourself, how can we have so many natural resources that can rake in billions of dollars each year, but we're still poor? That's because our leaders failed to promote this country for the gem it really is. Have no fear, because change is near. Change is here.
Meanwhile, the prime ministerial candidate of Change Guyana, Nigel Hines, said having sat with the presidential candidate Robert Badal to review the promises made by both major political parties, they came to the realization that many of the promises are still to be fulfilled.
The challenges to change Region 10 from an economically depressed community to one that enjoys accelerated and economic development is to be overcome by leadership that implements and executes promises made, instead of a trail of broken promises, decade after decade.
The presidential candidate for Change Guyana has promised that Change Guyana will ensure that there is a special levy on all logs exported in its raw state, and that money will be spent only in Linden. While the Guyana Revenue Authority has announced plans to introduce a new driver's license, which the agency has indicated will be more durable and secure. The new license will be launched within the next 2 weeks. The GRA said the change will be reflected for the issuance to drivers of motor cars, motorcycles, motor vans, motor lorries, motor buses, minibuses, and motor tractors. Compared to the previous license, the new card will have advanced security features to guard against reproduction, tampering, or damage. The upgrade was spearheaded by the GRA's Information Technology Unit, following the initial launch of the first plastic car driver's license back in 2014. The new driver's license will be available before Christmas and will have a 5-year validity period with a fee of $5,000 attached to it. That fee is, however, waived for drivers over the age of 65 years. When launched, the new license will only be issued to first-time applicants and those whose license have expired. Persons whose current license are still valid should therefore wait until the expiration of their license. In the courts right now, the two quarantine sisters who were caught on video berating police officers after being involved in a motor vehicular accident have been slapped with 10 charges. 28-year-old Hemwati Singh and 22-year-old Yasmini Ramsey both pleaded not guilty to all of the charges read to them by Magistrate Peter Hugh today. The two appeared in court in New Amsterdam this morning, where they were charged with damage to property, disorderly behavior, and 2 counts of assaulting a police officer. The younger sister, Yasmini Ramsey, was charged with resisting arrest, damage to property, dangerous driving, failure to report an accident, and failure to stop after an accident. The police prosecutor objected to bail, pointing to the charges of resisting arrest and assaulting a police officer. When asked by the magistrate why they should be granted bail, the sisters claimed that they were beaten by a female police officer at the same Rose Hall police outpost where the incident occurred. Bail was granted in the sum of $100,000 each, and the two will have to appear in court on the 6th of January, when the case will be transferred to the Wim Magistrates Court. Here in Georgetown, the West Berbice man who was nabbed with over 100 pounds of marijuana was today sentenced to 4 years in jail and fined $27.6 million after pleading guilty to the drug trafficking charge. 37-year-old Jairam Lalman appeared in the courtroom of the Chief Magistrate this morning and opted to enter a guilty plea during his first appearance. The court was told that on the 2nd of December at Mandela Avenue, Lalman was nabbed with over 100 pounds of compressed marijuana in the trunk of his car. That bust was made by the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit. The man initially claimed that he borrowed the car from someone else without knowing what was stored in the trunk. But that explanation did not find favor with the investigators, who went ahead and filed charges. Before the sentence was handed down today, the man's attorney asked the court to be lenient. That leniency came in the form of a 4-year jail sentence and that $27.6 million fine. Still in the courts over in the Supreme Court, Chief Justice Roxanne George Wiltshire today ordered that mediation takes place into the multi-million-dollar lawsuit which was filed against the state by a Jamaican woman who was wrongfully imprisoned. The woman's attorney, Darren Wade, was seeking $10 million for every day that she was held in custody. She spent 8 months in custody. The Chief Justice said the figure would be untenable. 54-year-old Jamaican national Sandra Russell spent 3.5 months behind bars on a marijuana conviction. But on her release, she was handed over to the Immigration Department for deportation, but was detained for an additional 8 months. The request for mediation was put forward by the Attorney General's chambers, and the Chief Justice ordered same. It was back in 2018 that a Jamaican pleaded guilty to the drug trafficking charge after being found with 70 grams of marijuana. While she was relieved with the sentence handed down by the court, she never expected that her time in custody would stretch to almost a year, even after she was released from prison. In her lawsuit, the woman complained about the condition of the prison and lockup facilities for women and said she fell ill on a number of occasions. She contended that she was held against her will and found herself wrongfully imprisoned. Attorney Emily Dodson will serve as the mediator. Across the region with Samuel Suknandan is coming up next.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
Flavor, food, fun. Guyana, it's back. UNCAP 2019 continues. Join us at the Guyana National Stadium at Providence for the Agro-Processors Exhibition and Food Festival. Enjoy local products that have been made, mixed and blended to perfection. It's all happening on Sunday, December 8th from 10 a.m. Enter the Savor the Flavor competition for a chance to win exciting hampers with fantastic local foods, personal care items, and so much more. Don't you miss it.
There once was a man named Stan whose business needed a new plan. Christmas was coming, this much was true. He needed some help but didn't know what to do. Then fast as a flash, 3 helpers did come from Republic Bank. They came with some. One had low interest rates, one reduced equity, one with approval so quick and easy. Now Stan is the man and his business is booming. Christmas is good and he is winning. Reach more customers and boost your business with a Republic Small Business Loan today.
Taking you across the region right now, I'm Samuel Suknandan. We start off with news in the Caribbean. Dominican Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has made it clear that general elections will be held on Friday, 6th December 2019, despite ongoing protests in certain parts of the country for electoral reform. Skerrit said that law and order will be maintained in Dominica. According to him, he will not have lawless persons attempt to frustrate decent voters on their way to the polls or destroy the democratic process. He went on to say that many law-abiding citizens have been harassed, making reference to a few videos circulating on social media displaying violent behavior. And now for a look at news in Latin America. Trade unions, students and indigenous groups are marching in Colombia's major cities to increase the pressure on the government of President Ivan Duque. The protests started almost 2 weeks ago with hundreds of thousands of people taking part in rallies. The demands of those demonstrating are wide-ranging and include making access to education more accessible. The two sides are due to meet, but so far, little progress has been made in talks between them. And finally, international news. France's largest nationwide strike in years has severely disrupted schools and transport. Workers are angry about planned pension reforms that would see them retiring later or facing reduced payouts. Teachers and transport workers have been joined by police, lawyers, hospital and airport staff and other professions for a general walkout. President Emmanuel Macron wants to introduce a universal points-based pension system that would replace France's current system, which has 42 different pension schemes across its private and public sectors with variations in retirement age and benefits. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Have a good night.